talking to just 1 minute ago. I'm going to ask her to just pop the mic somewhere around, or just hold it.
Just
and
here.
Introduce yourself. Big, loud, booming voice, please.
Hi, my name is Solvy the Problem. Not because I solve the problem, but because I am the problem.
You are the problem.
I am indeed. Always and forever.
Okay, well, let's try and solve some of the questions. So right now, if you just step back and just show your fabulous attire. And immediately we're struck, of course, by this really vibrant jewellery you wear. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so here we've got a selection of different glass beads from all around the Viking age. So some from Scotland, here, Galloway Longfarder. Oh, sorry, here from Hedeby and Rye.
Hedeby, yep.
And here from Scotland. And we have quite a few from Nottingham and from the Danelaw. So from Derby, and we've got some amber beads from the Baltic as well, and then it is a cross found in a women's grave in Repton. Sorry,
fabulous colours, aren't they? They're so vivid, the colours.
Absolutely. My husband next to me, he makes all of these beads.
Hello, sir.
And yeah, they were all, some of them, so this one here, there is a little blue melon.
Yep.
That is a replica of one that was found in Egypt.
Okay.
And was found in 4000 BC. So it's
sea glass, is it?
No, it's actually made in a forge, in a fire. These were all made. These are all replications of ones that were made and found.
And is there any meaning behind, obviously, the colours and combinations you've got, or is that simply just showing off ones that look good together?
No, there is a lot of meaning behind them. So, for example, the blue ones, because blue was such a really amazing dye and really vivid, they made colours in the beads that matched that status. So when they were making the different colours of clothing, they would then match that to your beads. So if you had a lot of colour, it could show off that you were that wealthy, hence why I've got a green bag, yellow clothes, pink silk, all the way from China and from Asia.
So I'm getting you're a lady of high standing, right?
Absolutely a lady of high standing.
Yeah. So this isn't typical Viking wear, is it? You're showing off this season's fashions, as you might say.
Absolutely. I am showing off that not only can I afford, and it's not only is my husband wealthy enough, that's why I'm wearing all of his wealth, that I am the top lady.
The top lady.
I have got a calfskin hat, I've got enough fabric that I can have a double coloured herringbone weave on my overdress, on my hanger rock.
Beautiful.
I can have it on my cloak as well. I am a high status lady. This is the bling of the bling, the top of the top.
Fantastic. So what is it? Julie just says, have you got any CM glass? Presumably CM in the northeast.
I actually think I do. I think it's one of these ones down here, or this one here actually, this big one, and then I've got a couple.
How wonderful. And so a quick look, we know your keys as well. Tell us about your keys.
So, the keys in a Viking age are a women's way of showing how wealthy their husbands are. So women own the wealth. They keep the keys, they keep the lock boxes. So every key you can see is a lock box in my house. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 keys in my house, and this is an actual church key.
That's a lot of wealth then.
From a church from our time period that my husband raided and brought back to me. He ransacked a church just for me.
Yes. So have you got chalices from churches to be drinking out of?
I probably do at home. Obviously, you wouldn't want to bring it here, not to the Minster.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely delightful. Love it. Thank you. Brilliant. Well done. Excuse me, can I just quickly slip through?
Right.
Hi there, can I just give you that towel? Hiya.
Hello.
I spotted you. The reason I asked you, do you know why? Because I thought I can find that in the crowd, you see. These are the things that you learn as you go. So, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Scaddy the Seer. I'm with Blythe ID. We're a Welsh group. It means Black Wolves, and we're part of the Viking Society.
So you're a seer. So what did a seer do? What role did they play in Viking Society?
Kind of like a Viking version of a priest.
Yep.
So we looked after their spiritual well-being, usually helped out in some medical capacity with herbs.
Yeah.
We often gave fertility advice as well.
Fertility advice, right?
Yeah, fertility advice. A lot of them were nomadic, so kind of went from settlement to settlement, but it was seen as quite a strong unit to have a seer and a jarl together as well.
And typically women, or could be men or women?
Typically women, yeah.
Typically women.
There's no evidence of there having been male seers. There could have been, but there hasn't been anything discovered.
So a bit like the wise woman kind of tradition then in kind of European settlements.
Yeah.
So people would come to you. Would they pay you? How would you be rewarded then for doing
They
these?
tended to pay them, or if, for example, they couldn't pay you, it would be an honour to have you in the house for the night,
Right.
or they might give you a fancy bit of jewellery that was worth something. Whatever they had that was of worth, that's what they would pay
And
you.
would you do bad things? Would you put hexes on people as well, or is,
Oh, if someone annoyed my Arl enough, I would do it.
yeah? You better be careful. You know what I do. Can I just ask you to say hello, sir, just while we're here?
Let me get my glove off. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Fabulous, love the helmet. Get it.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Roscoe Torstensson
Roger
of the Plaid
Thompson.
ID.
Yeah, fantastic. and what are you hoping to do? What are you hoping to achieve today?
Hopefully,
Yeah,
make an epic battle, send some people to Valhalla,
Yeah.
maybe get there myself.
that's a meet at the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in enactment?
In reenactment,
Yeah.
not long at all. This is my second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
This is a fabulous event, huh?
It's amazing. This is my first time here.
Yeah.
Well, Scotty has been here a couple years in the past, so she's basically been our guide for this year.
Yeah. And is this kit heavy, by the way, that you're sort of carrying around?
It depends on how you make it. So
Yeah.
my axe is quite lightweight.
Yep.
My shield personally is on the heavier side.
Yeah.
The helmet really heavy.
Yeah. So when you're swinging it around, you're going to start to feel the exertion after a pretty short period of time.
Yeah. Doesn't take
Fighting's
long to
exhausting,
feel
isn't it? You know.
It is very
Yeah.
much so. It doesn't take long to feel it in your arms.
No, absolutely, fantastic. Thank you
No,
so
no
much.
worries at all, thank
Brilliant,
you.
Brilliant. Well done, look forward to it. Now, those who might remember last year, complete head case over here, swung a big axe at me, but I've forgiven him. It's taken a year, but I finally let that go. So, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. It's going good.
What are we up to today then?
We're going to be hitting each other for fun.
Fantastic.
We're going to win.
You're going to win today.
Yes.
You're definitely going to feel it in the waters, can you?
Yes.
Have you just went to see her? Have you kind of had the advice then about how to turn out?
It's going to turn out as we win.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're not going to expect what we've got in store for them.
Fantastic.
It's gonna be fun.
No secrets. You're going to reveal.
No, I'm not going to reveal the secrets yet.
No, we're just going to stay. We're going to stay in.
Yeah.
How's it going, sir? Fantastic. What a brilliant outfit you're wearing. So tell us a bit about your character, if you'd just.
Hi. Well, that's the mic.
That's the microphone.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Wasn't a gift.
I know it.
Hi, I'm Jarl Thorstein Oxleg of the Volsung Viking.
Yes.
We've been going. Well, I've been doing this about 27 years now.
So just tell us a bit about what you've got hanging off your waist there. So you've got a.
I have my pouches.
Yep.
I have
Microphone's in the hand.
I have my sea axe.
I'll hold it for you, Phil, if you want to display.
And as you can see, I'm flaunting my wealth at you.
Yeah.
I have silver
Wow.
in my tunic.
Beautiful. Lovely. Really lovely embroidery, that, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. One of my seamsters did it for me. And there you go. You can see.
Lovely colours, isn't it? You're really richly kind of messing around. Was that quite typical then? Were they big fans of colour, the Vikings?
Yes. So I'm flaunting the wealth at in you.
So you're high status. And is it a chalk around your neck?
Chalk as
Chalk,
well.
right?
Chalk.
Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So it's very, very loud. Thank you so much,
thank you
everyone.
very
I'll get out your way. So I think I better be making my way towards the start point. So I need to find a way of getting out. Thank you very much. And we'll get round to thanks. The point of assembly where we can get you a nice shot. So I'll give you a few opportunities to see. It really is an absolutely fabulous event. Around his neck, it's the talk, yeah, Julia. Hopefully you picked that up. So as you can see there, under the shadow of York Minster, the tribes have gathered, and we're going to be in for a really good, strong visual treat. I think that's what's kind of great about this is ultimately it's such a visual feast, and of course, lots of people here mid-afternoon here in York, and we are due for hopefully a really memorable afternoon. So we're going to be following the march of the Vikings, and then where they meet up down at Clifford's Tower, we'll hopefully be able to put on a bit of a show that you can see. So hope everybody is in a good place. They are going to be setting off in a few minutes, so I've just got myself on the right side of the barrier, so that once they set off I can get myself right down to towards the press area, so we can get you a really good view. So I'll just see if there's any stray Vikings around. So hello Natalie, hello to everybody. Susan that's joined me since I've gone live. Absolutely, look at this guy's fantastic outfit. Love it. I mean, the sheer pleasure of just being able to show these wonderful, wonderful costumes, the art and dedication they put into it, you know, it really is kind of phenomenal. You can see it's an absolute passion for these people to deck themselves out in this way. So let us. I'm just checking which. They appear to be pointing in that direction, which suggests to me that is the route going the other way. I'm just going to find out. So let me just check. Excuse me, are they? Last year they came out that way. Are they going this way?
As far as I'm aware, they're going that way.
They're going that way, right? Okay, fantastic. Right, so it looks like I need to be at the front of the Minster and find my position for you, and we'll see what we can do. So, as ever, hello, Helen. So let me just go through and see if there is a press area. Excuse me, do beg your pardon. Is there a press area down this end?
Sorry?
Is there a press area down this end?
It's just what was been in there, but
Right.
I think we can follow them out.
Right. Excuse me, can I just get in this? Very loud, now, Gina. I'm going those. So they're going out down that gate down there.
Outside here, so we'll follow the next line.
Yeah.
Down the gate.
And then coming out College Street, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Here we go, guys. Absolutely fabulous. So all the warriors coming through, as you can see, with chainmail. So you notice the difference in the higher grade soldier, the lower grade, about weaponry they're wearing. It's a riot of colour, but very noisy here, so I'm trying not to speak over it because I'm ruining the enjoyment.
Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Rex Angora! Vivat Rex! Rex Angora!
It's a very impressive number this year. I was indeed. Every year since the 10th century.
I've only done 16 years. There's a lot of this.
I think this is bigger than last year. This is fabulous. I bet. And still they keep coming. They're a very friendly bunch, Susan. Hiya. And all ages, all shapes and sizes, everybody's welcome. Very inclusive, being a Viking. Lots of Viking ladies and children families. Do you want to be live on the internet? There you go. Hello. The Viking little ones. Hiya.
Hello, dolls.
You give us a wave. Oh, you're the star. Hello. The mini Vikings. Look, what's it? If you look down there, you see, we can put your mum on camera. Now your mum's live on the internet. How's that?
Quick, Tom.
Such a lovely vibe. So it's like, drums are like thunder. We've got a Viking traffic jam now.
Yeah.
Yeah, free-flowing traffic in York was an issue even 1,000 years ago. You'll never change, I'm afraid. Yeah.
It's about the first of about 50 traffic jams.
People jump
Well, it might take time to get to trees.
Yeah.
You know, something. You're ugly.
We don't know exactly the hold-up is, but I'm sure the Vikings will be on the move. No, so I think they're moving on now. So.
You don't look for red lights, you look at the flags in front.
That's it. We're moving again now, so fantastic. So. And still they come. And still they come. Sorry, man. Anyway, nervous disposition. Might wish to turn away now, but it's a Viking thing. I've no idea how many must be involved this year, but I'm sure it's a lot bigger than last year. And they're on the move again. Such a collection.
I'm a silly goose! I said, who's the silly goose? I'm a silly goose!
I got a wonderful cloak. Isn't that great? I keep thinking we're running out of Vikings, but more keep coming. So whether they're going around in a circle or there's just a lot of them this year. So when these last ones come through, we'll go and try and take our position down by College Street and pick up the march. So I think we're coming towards the end of the march. I don't know how many people, but we're talking obviously hundreds, and still they come. It really is a fabulous turnout. So that's right. They're walking to the Ivy Walk. That's where we're going to follow down. So we'll try and head down in a minute down to College Street, and let's see what we can see down there, and then we'll cut through town and see him on the way into to Clifford's Tower, and then whatever show they put on. Look at this fabulous makeup this guy's wearing here. Can I show your face on the camera? Yeah, that's fabulous. I love that makeup. What's your name?
Eliza.
Eliza. Fantastic. And you, sir?
Steve.
Steve. Looking good, Steve.
Cheers, bud.
Fantastic. Hello there. Sorry, man. You're way, big friend. Some very scary looking folk coming through. But I think this is the last, so we'll go through and try and pick up the tour a little bit later on. So, right, if I go down this way. Wasn't that fun? Hello, Cindy. So, if I can get back down now to College Green, we'll try and pick up. So they're all sort of working their way round the side now of the Minster Green, So if I just come through here, and we'll try and get ourselves into a nice position to pick up with the march. So this is an annual event. It's part of the Jorvik Viking Festival, which has been going decades, 40 odd years. I believe that I think the Jorvik Viking Centre, as I recall, opened in York in 1984, 1985, somewhere around there. I was actually very fortunate insofar as I got to visit the night before it opened, because my mum at that time ran the Penguin Bookshop in York, and there was a big tie-in with the Viking exhibition of Penguin books and so forth. And so we got to go to preview. Prince Charles was in the afternoon that day. We went in the evening, so I was one of the very, very first people ever to ride the railroad of the Jorvik Viking Centre. So that's a happy memory. So the Viking Festival, part of kind of York's calendar of events, and obviously celebrates the fact that York, or Jorvik, as it was known, was of course the capital of the Anglo-Scandinavian kingdom, based here in the north of England. So we'll just come back to a nice position here. I'll try and get us a nice view of the Minster, and we'll have a look at the marches again. Then we'll talk a bit more about the Vikings as we go along. But I'll just walk alongside it. Isn't it absolutely fabulous? Such good view, Deirdre, of the Vikings, and just the colour. It's lovely. The weather is pretty good today, so we've not got that as an issue. But all the wonderful kind of coloured shields and everything is as we would hope it would be. And a fine day in York. A little grey and drizzly, but other than that, if I can just sneak through here. Excuse me, may I just slip through there? Thank you very much. And we'll come through. So yet again, we are under the shadow of York Minster. And we'll just try to come onto this side. It's very right. Right, we're in the front again, so fantastic. Great, if you're in the midst of the background. We're under the shadow of York Minster, the March of the Vikings here in Jorvik, capital city, the Viking Empire. Linda mentioned about the shield designs are fabulous, aren't they? So colourful. And obviously some of these are the same, which obviously denotes probably the same family or the same Earl, Jarl they're perhaps fighting for, but lots of variety. So a wonderful setting here in College Green, got St William's College behind us, as Julie points out. It's really a fantastic spot for us to just take in the colour, the kind of pageantry, and just the commitment and fun really of this event. It really is an absolute pleasure to be here bringing this from York. And so you see here obviously the chainmail, we're talking about the hardcore warriors now. These are guys that are equipped for serious battle. You can tell by obviously the spears they're carrying and the weaponry, much bigger. A lot of the guys sort of behind, you'll see, have not got the same kind of decking out, so they're kind of the foot sort of cannon fodder. Sadly, the expendable guys, these are the prime warriors here with the chainmail, the body protection, to enable them to really be into the heat of the battle, using your best warriors where you need to make a breakthrough into the enemy lines. Isn't that fabulous? So let me know if you've ever been to York or the Viking Centre. Do let me know. Hello, Joe again. This is Jay. He's the guru of all things Viking Festival in York. It's bigger this year.
The marches, yeah.
Yeah.
I think about 300 this year.
It's brilliant. It's really good. Weather's good as well. So what's nice about this, obviously, is it's not just Viking warriors. It gives us a sense where we can look at Viking society, look at a cross section. Obviously, the mothers, children, the high warriors, the low kind of warriors. Those who will combine their fighting probably with other trades, maybe kind of woodsmen or farmers, barrel makers. There'd be a kind of range of professions as well. Most Vikings wouldn't have been full-time fighters. With the exception perhaps of these that you're seeing with the very kind of elaborate armour on them. So just going to help you differentiate between. Wonderful colours as well in the fabrics. Wonderful to see, isn't it? You know, the sheer richness. They are of course known for their fighting, but of course their crafting is something we'll be looking at some of that tomorrow. Their ability to make and create. They really were brilliant harnesses of technology. So there's so much I admire within the Vikings. Hello, the lady we were talking to earlier. Hello there. Fantastic drum. Is so loud, that drum. How well it comes across, but rather bloodthirsty, some of these chaps, you know. Give us some Viking and Berserker. And this sort of shouting, this thing they're doing, they're crying out, they're sort of winding themselves up, getting the adrenaline kind of flowing, but also be terrifying for the enemies. If you were there waiting for these Vikings to come at you, as they're screaming and shouting and crying out, you really would kind of feel, I think, you know, a sense of great trepidation that even before they arrived, you would be on the back foot, as you might say, and I'm very scared of what was like to happen. So Michelle's been to the Viking Centre. It's a wonderful crest of wild boar up on there. The favoured meat of Scandinavians. Wild pig. Terrifying, isn't it? Imagine that. Waiting for you to come into battle. And of course you'll notice the boss on the shield is like a big lump of metal. So it's not like a fist. You know, it's not, the shield isn't simply a form of defence, it's a weapon as well, you know. Tish does wild balls all the time. I love that. Look at that guy's wonderful sheepskin. Isn't that absolutely fabulous? I don't know how he keeps it so clean when he's out doing Viking stuff, but he looks absolutely resplendent today. Lovely blonde lady walking on, again with all manner of furs. So again, we've got all generations here today, from the little ones right up to some of the bigger ones. And those are, give it some Berserker. So I think we've come to the end. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to head down. Thanks, Jay. We'll nip through town now, and we'll pick up on the march when they're on the kind of second side down towards Clifford Tower. But I think we're upstairs. Neighbours of Viking Riot. Well, they do make a lot of noise, but as I say, part of that, as I say, is working themselves up. You can actually think, you know, what going into battle was. You know, it was, you know, a very scary proposition, wasn't it? I mean, the odds of coming out unscathed are pretty low. Now, of course, Vikings believed that to die on the battlefield was the ultimate death, heroic death, and a lifetime in kind of Valhalla, or afterlife in Valhalla, awaited them, supping with Odin at his table. But nonetheless, it was probably going to be pretty painful to go out there. So I think getting that adrenaline going, being fired up, was probably very, very necessary before you go into a close quarters battle with swords, axes, and spears. This isn't like a kind of a sniper kind of warfare, is it? I mean, it really is up close and personal, as you might say. So, I'm trying to get us. So I think that kind of that whole rush of adrenaline, getting themselves fired up, but also, as I say, thinking about how that would impact upon the opposing army or forces, you know, is quite frankly, you could be beaten before you started in this kind of scenario, couldn't you? It would be so intimidating, I think is the word I'm kind of looking for. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my way through. It'd be so kind of intimidating, the thought of taking on these Vikings, and of course, chances are they'd know all about the reputation of Vikings before they arrived. So these men coming across the sea, the first reported in the year 793 with the raid on Lindisfarne, the monastery in the northeast of England. Some of you may have been to Lindisfarne or Holy Isles. It was a wonderful but poorly defended treasure house of the early Christian church, and the Vikings went and took it. They did not give a hoot, as you might say, about the fact it was Christian. And as a result of that, so I think we'll go around this way. We're not going to be able to get through our crowds, are we? So of course, this is reported to us via the church, and of course the church, are absolutely dumbfounded by this. They see these people, as being agents in effect of the devil. Of course, they are non-Christians, they're pagans, and the fact that they steal ecclesiastical plate, gold, silver, altarpieces, all the valuables from the church as well, of course, as gold and silver, whatever else they can lay their hands on, means that they're very much portrayed as the Antichrist. And so, very much from the outset, the idea of the Vikings being unworldly, of somewhere else, that sort of created a primal fear in communities of the thought of being attacked by the Vikings. And the Vikings, I guess, played up to this in terms of, their sense of otherness. They must have seen and felt very different. And to I think people of the 8th century into the 9th century, during the period of the Viking raidful settlement, it must have probably felt a bit like a disease, like kind of COVID. People didn't have any kind of control over this. One minute you're living your life, the next minute your coastal towns, villages are getting ransacked by these Vikings that kill everything in sight. So they must have felt that this was something that was sort of happening to them. They weren't in control of, really. Now, of course, we take a bit more enlightened view, and we sort of see the Vikings in the round. We see their achievements as well as their brutal savagery, and of course they were wonderful crafters and makers. They were, yes, the Minster Gardens here behind us. So they've left behind a legacy, of course, here in York, very rich legacy of archaeological finds showing their craft, their ability to make weaponry, jewellery, obviously the day-to-day items for eating, cleaning, combing hair, etc. So much stuff has kind of been found here. There's a rich, very, very rich collection of artefacts from the Viking era here in York, particularly at the Jorvik Viking Centre, but also in the Yorkshire Museum. So we've got an incredibly rich archive, if you like, to draw upon. The beauty of the centre to understand the Vikings kind of in the round, as you might say. So moving beyond them simply as warriors and looking at them as makers, as creators, as artists, as jewellers, as metalsmiths, as woodworkers, as barrel makers. We've got the ability to kind of see the Viking era almost in 3D. And a lot of that is down to York's pretty unique geography, insofar as that York pretty much lies at sea level. That's why we get the flooding river all the time. The river's up right now again. What it does mean is a very high water table. In other words, the water is close to the surface under the streets, but a high water level. And so basically, because the Viking remains were found kind of obviously 20 feet down below where we are now, in effect they were all waterlogged. And being waterlogged, what that in effect means is that is it anaerobic bacteria? I never quite remember which one it is. Can't get to it, and so things are preserved. Things that otherwise would have been, destroyed, like fabric, shoes, leather, human hair, etc., were actually preserved. And so the conditions, it wasn't simply a case of what they found here, how much they found here. It was they were finding things that otherwise would be normally kind of destroyed. So consequently, that gave a kind of richness, an additional kind of layer of detail in York that made it when they started the dig in 1975, 76, very, very quickly, a very, very important national dig, not simply like York, and it was in the end co-funded by the Queen of Denmark, because obviously this was history that cut across not simply history of England, but also the history of the Danes as well. So we're just walking alongside following the Vikings. I'm just trying to find us a good position to down the end, but obviously there's a lot of people out and about, which is fantastic, exactly what you want. Lots of families, lots of lovely doggies out and about, and so I think if we can just get a little toot on. So, how does me and my partner are getting married in September in Norse, and can't wait to show off, showcase it, archery and craftsmanship. Fantastic. Well, our very best wishes for you, Hannah, for your special day. Let's go back in and get up close with the Vikings. Let's walk on side for a minute too. And they're growling at us again. Honestly, a Viking with toothache, I think. Fantastic. Where we are then, right in the midst of the Vikings. One more time. So I hope you enjoyed looking at ladies' glass beads along the way. That was absolutely fantastic to see again the artistry up close, and of course the lady we're speaking to, as her husband, was in fact the guy that made the glass. So it was very much a kind of home done location. So we're walking with Vikings. I hope I'm not going to get stabbed, because that would definitely put a damper on my day. Trying to keep out of the way as well. So me just go down. No one gets you close to, folks. Steadily done. Those with a nervous decision might just turn away now. Just trying to get us down. So we're coming down Parliament Street. Wouldn't have been here, of course, in the Viking era. Yes, we'd love to see some photos, Hannah, of your Viking-themed nuptials. That would be absolutely fabulous. So I'm just trying to get down to the bottom. Excuse me. If I can just get through there. There's the press box on this side. Isn't this fab? There's lovely colours on this one. So when they get to Clifford's Tower, I believe there's going to be some demonstrations, some battles going on, and so forth. So some good stuff, hopefully, to share with you, and not just a march. There's activities as well. So.
Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Regimentorum! Vivat Regimentorum!
Thank you. So it's a bit congested at this point. Thank you. That's where I want to be.
Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Rex! Vivat Regimentorum! Vivat Regimentorum!
So should we invite them all, Hannah, for you? Perfect. Little Vikings, haven't it? Fantastic. Yeah, we'll try and talk to somebody a little bit about shields, but I think basically they will represent people of the same kin, maybe the same family, or perhaps the same overlord. It's obviously going to vary from one to another, but we've seen 2 or 3 soldiers together, haven't we, with the same shield, so that does seem to suggest that... John, do you know the Vikings were clanspeople like the Scots? Yeah, certainly family was incredibly important in kind of Viking society, and motherhood as well, children. Obviously, the ability to survive and thrive relies on a constant supply of new blood, doesn't it? So children, it was very much a children-centred society. As you know, famously, most of our kind of Christmas stories and traditions come from how to enchant the children. So it's very much focused around, look at this doggy, how wonderful. So coming down now towards Clifford. So the Vikings arrived in York in 866. Those that have watched the TV show will be delighted to know the 3 sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, Ubba, Halfdan, Ivor the Boneless, involved in the taking of York in 866, and they've come to take it back. And the Northumbrian army, which should have been here to put up a fight, were busy having their own civil war elsewhere, so they kind of pretty much took York very, very easily. But not to miss out on it, they did turn up the following year, better late than never, the Northumbrians, but they got a bit of a pasting at the hands of the beastly Vikings. So the deal was sealed, and Jorvik as it was established as the capital of this Anglo-Scandinavian empire. And, so when we think of, York or Jorvik, I think it's really interesting to think of it as a cultural sort of blending point. You've got people and goods constantly going backwards and forwards between the British Isles and Scandinavia. It's only about 350 miles or so by boat, by the river. So it's not a tremendous distance. And so with the technology that they had, in terms of the boat building, that's a kind of relatively modest journey. So you've got people and goods, so trade routes, all things we've been talking about in recent years with Brexit and so forth. Trade routes and trade relationships go back all the way, certainly through the Vikings and even earlier to the Anglo kind of Saxon period. There's very little new in life. So I think we are heading down. We'll head down into the compound. We'll find our place in the process. Certainly horses and dogs. I don't know so much horses. Maybe somebody else will know on that about horses, but dogs certainly were part and parcel of Viking life. So they're all going to be arriving into this area down here in the compound. So it's not very visual. I'll give you a shot of Clifford's Tower. I was walking past, a little bit nicer to look at than the Bush Park cars. And of course, this is the perpetually about to get developed Castle Car Park in York. Ever since the age of the Vikings, they've been talking about developing this area, but it is yet to happen. And with all cash in the coffers right now, one suspects that ain't going to happen anytime soon. But here we are, we're coming into the area. So past the stewards' whereabouts we are located, and I'm sure they will get us to a good viewpoint. But there's already stuff going on down here. Couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but it's certainly noisy. Hiya, where's the press area? It's changed. So I'll try and get as close as possible. So we've got obviously reenactment skirmishing going on at the moment.
Are you absolutely sure?
When I stop, we'll get up on the tripod and we'll go over for it as zoom so you can hopefully get a bit better.
We must have the first to 3 rounds. But
Am I right here? I'll just sit down.
Stay low, yeah.
Yeah.
we have 2 rounds to the Ravens, 1 to the Wolves. Will the Ravens take ultimate victory this day? This could all finish right now in a few short moments. Come, good my friends, come get closer still. Are you ready? All together, 3, 2, 1, charge. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, charge!
Mayhem.
Come on, Wolves, get that banner, Wolves, Viking! Get that banner! Come on!
Wow, very loud. Definitely, Humphrey would be very happy as a Viking dog, yes.
My friends!
A clear victory.
Against all odds! The Wolves take that round! Equals 2 points, I think! And so... Alright, my friends, we have 1 more round.
So soon
That is
enough,
parity, I need to get a winner this day. And so, one final time.
very soon the parade is going to arrive in, and then there's going to be a big pitch battle here. So
fight for victory.
we will do our very best to bring you all the mayhem.
Will the Ravens take the victory?
Alex, why take part this time of year? It was February half term, so the children aren't at school. So, as with all things, you know, they try and spread things out. But obviously, school holidays are favoured for these very, very kind of family and education-focused sort of events. So that's basically the reason, I suppose. Is
final round. Fight hard, fight fair. 3, 2, 1.
But there's also an evening event. I'm not coming down this evening because I don't think it's fair to just live stream all the paid stuff for them. But a lot of it's done in the dark with fire and everything, so it looks really cool. So here in summer, you wouldn't be able to see anything like as well. So I think that's probably another reason that makes it attractive. They used to do boat burning, which looks spectacular, but apparently costs too much, so they'll have to pull that a little bit.
Are you allowed to hit it like one? They're working hard. We are
They're certainly hitting each other, by the way, in case you're wondering. It's obviously it's fairly light, but the potential, I'd imagine, for getting a few bruises is very real.
Gentlemen, stop cuddling. Miss. It looks like the Wolves have in their possession 2 banners. Yes! The correct amount of banners. And so, my friends, line up beside the tree, my friends. Ravens, you fought well. You had strength on your side. You fought with guile. But it seems that the Wolves fight as a better team. Yes. Let me do the maths.
Enough.
Boasting 1 to the Ravens. Battle 1 to the Wolves. Pillow fight 1 to the Ravens. Tug of war to the... My friends, we have parity.
Enough.
2 apiece,
we will achieve parity with warfare.
Stop cuddling, yeah.
Warfare?
I have enough of your antics, Thorsten. These silly games of the children. Not that there's anything wrong with children, of course. They're very nice. But
Well, backtrack, my lord.
they're paying parents. We have warriors waiting to test their mettle and their courage in the battle.
I have me an idea, good my lord. Will the battle be our deciding point?
That's what I was driving at, yes.
Yeah, very well keeping shape, Susan. That
My
definitely.
friends, let us give a huge
Although
round
there's
of
quite a
acclaim
few here, very
for
generous
our
of girth.
warriors
I think
here
that
on
goes with
field.
the whole
We
Viking
had
look.
The Ravens that fought well. Where we had the Wolves who finally come from behind for victory. But now let us swell their numbers tenfold and let us have a huge to-do for the final round. Who will be your victors? Will it be the Wolves? No! Or will it be the Ravens?
Who are you cheering for, Wolves or Ravens?
And so, my friends, in a few short moments, the final round of the Viking Games. Wolves, if you would, quit your field and take a well-earned rest. Ravens, quit the field. Well-earned rest.
So we're just seeing the parade is now starting to come in, so we're going to see this space now fill up with an awful lot of Vikings. And then I think we're going to have a pitched battle. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going to happen today, but I suspect there's going to be quite a lot of warring
So I
going
see
on between the
warriors
forces.
entering our field.
So here they come.
Are they wolves or are they ravens?
Here they come. There's going to be a showdown. No, it's fine.
The first army to enter the field are the Ravens. No favoritism here.
Go Ravens.
And fighting them this day for the ultimate victory.
So got Ravens
as
coming
they
here
possess
on the
in
right.
The Wolves.
Wolves going here on the left-hand side. And then we're getting into battle formations.
Let us have also a huge round of acclaim for our
And you'll see here how the shields
musicians.
are
A huge round
now
of
kind of
acclaim.
arrayed in creating battle lines. The whole thing was about being able to use brute strength really to break through. One of the shields sort of interlocked. It was pretty good protection. But of course, once the lines get broken and get twisted, that's when the real kind of slaughter would begin. So much of early battle was about the ability to hold your lines, and so you assume your battle lines, lock in together, use the shields and push against one another. And so human brute strength is the first weapon, if you like, of war. It's only really when you kind of break through the shields that you're able to sort of come close enough to be using swords and axes and so forth. But spears, of course, very good for penetrating the gaps in between. So it's all about shieldcraft in the first, and here in York, just very near to Davygate, and that was the street of the shield makers. So we know that craft was very much alive and well here in York.
The place of musicians is the mead hall. This is my field of battle. This is the domain of the hawk-beaked raven and the hungry wolf.
It's nice to be a bit close to us now. Just stand for a minute. Take him.
Good, my lord. We are
Yes.
ordering our troops in a few short moments. Once we have ordered, we shall realign.
Wolves and ravens, symbols of Odin's companions. Very good. So you can see now we've got a real
Ladies and gentlemen, the
array.
thing you've all come to see. We have warriors. We have
All lined up now.
brilliant camp followers. We even have children, fingers crossed they do not descend into anarchy.
So you've got to make up your
And the
mind.
mass with the children
You're either
too.
wolves
As
or
you can
ravens.
see,
No sitting on the
there
fence
are many,
on this
many
one.
people on this field.
You need to make your choice.
A
Nail your
final round
colours
for ultimate
to the chat,
victory.
as they say.
Now as they amass, ladies and gentlemen all, we have, at the moment, on the top of our field, we have...
So Hannah's going to have a shield wall to go down the arm with the children. It just sounds fantastic. Can we come on live stream your wedding? It sounds brilliant.
At the bottom of our field,
it's so good to share. The children come in to cheer there. Their dads, their uncles,
our numbers
the
could not be
grown-ups,
more swells, yet more
no doubt
swells.
wishing they were old enough to be part of the battle, but they have to wait a few years.
Good my lord Odin! Is this what a battle might very well have looked like with these numbers?
Indeed. The size of the army is determined by the number of ships one can bring.
I think not normally the gene that the women wouldn't fight normally, but of course that didn't mean that they couldn't fight, and there were female warriors, but it wasn't the norm. Oh, sorry. It's alright, I'll go ahead, it's fine.
We're trying to move them for you.
Oh, that's very kind, thank you. I was on a weak spot signal, that's just better here anyway. I'm from Baltimore, last rest place of Poe. I thought we'll do the Ravens. So Baltimore, Maryland supporting the Ravens today. From Linda. That's a good enough reason.
Within the shield wall.
Some numbers kind of really building. Sorry, Jay, do you want to come back? Sorry.
In the shield wall, a man must stand beside his shield brothers, his shoulder companions, each man protecting one another.
Yeah, I think it's hopefully I've moved to a slightly better position, but obviously, as you can imagine, there's now quite a lot of people here, a lot of 4G thieves. You can see them greedily sucking away my 4G, not caring in the slightest. Like Dementors, people, yeah. Oh, the horrible little phones, sucking away my 4G. So we're getting ready to do battle. We're hopefully you're in a better position now. So as I say, I found a weak position, but hopefully that's a bit better. So we're getting warriors everywhere now, coming in, the battle formations.
Which of these men spend more time plowing the field than they do swinging an axe?
Yeah, fingers crossed we'll be okay here. I know the numbers just dropped a bit, but hopefully, touch wood, we'll get a reasonable signal. Sorry, yep. It's alright, no. That's alright. So Jean's family is Norse on the father's side. Never been able to travel, so that gives you an idea of what your in-laws' ancestors would have looked like, what they'd been up to. A fabulous array of costumes, attention to detail as ever, and it's just the sheer commitment, isn't it? Love a Viking eyeglasses. We do love a Vikings anything. And it's wonderful because obviously, with this now being its sort of fourth decade, this festival, you know, it's a firm part of the kind of reenactment calendar. So everybody who's anybody in Viking reenactment is going to want to hear today. So we get the best of the best here in York.
And now the scales of the many-coloured serpent.
So you can see now the interlocking shields. If I just give you a bit of zoom, you'll see what they're trying to do is create a shield wall is going to go up, and they're going to try and provide a barrier that you can't break through.
As the army forms for battle.
So some of the ladies, the lady warrior just there. In fact, 2 lady warriors are getting involved. So
The scale that you were hoping for originally.
those ladies certainly keen not to miss out on this battle royal Wolves and Ravens showdown here in the city of Jorvik.
Fastolf, one final time for your team champions. Fastolf, come this way. A gentle, short introduction to your team as you quit the field. A short introduction? Yes. I don't do short introductions.
Yes, the daffodils are coming out now.
Fastolf Per Bjerson, and I am here to tell you that the mighty Wolves are here to claim victory this day in the name of all the gods of Asgard.
So give a cheer if you're supporting the Wolves.
Short enough for you.
Ravens.
Let me see the fire
Your turn
in
next.
your eyes. Let me hear the gods and your voice. Good, my friends. For Odin, I shall hand over to your sergeants this day, and we shall fight.
I think it's going to kick off very shortly. So you can see now the shield locking in. See? So what we're looking out for is in this first kind of interaction is who's going to hold their lines the best. And of course, the flanks, the edges are always a vulnerable point in a battle, because this way you can get round and it's like a circle of enemies. So you'd always have your best warriors at the ends to defend up, strong men in the centre to hold the lines. But we're looking for any twisting of the lines that's symbolising that one side is starting to get an advantage. But right now, we've still got a pretty straight line.
Slashing at the foe.
We've got a bit of a retreat. It's a tactical retreat. And they're regrouping. Or they're being pushed back. It looks like the Ravens have done a tactical retreat. Maybe changing over the men in the front line. Very exhausting to get the front line. They're dropping back to second lines and letting fresher warriors take over for a second engagement. I think they need a ref, don't they? Off they go again. More use of spears this time round, so a slight change in tactics here from the Ravens. They're trying to penetrate through with the spears. So of course looking for the gaps between the shields, but they can kind of penetrate the lines. So we see some of our fallen. We'll start to mount up. Looks like now Ravens putting a lot of pressure on the right hand side of the flank here. think we may be coming close to a breakthrough as it starts to get chaotic. What we call a rout begins. Once the line goes, the enemy can be circled, and that's when the killing spree will truly begin. Once they fall down and collapse, I think we are seeing a breakthrough on this right flank. Starting to see more and more wounded, injured warriors going down. And they're breaking down the left-hand side as well. It looks like the wolves are definitely in ascendancy at this moment in time. We've got the injured being carried off the field there, dumped off. It's starting to get messy. All shape now has gone, and now in a free-for-all. And this is the most dangerous part of any battle, of course. When one is in the ascendancy, people are tired, it's probably muddy, bloody, slippy. This is where the real bloodshed will occur. Lady warrior there, just gone down unfortunately. It's the end of her day. The victory is theirs. The Ravens won that encounter, so in classic style by attacking the flanks, putting pressure on the flanks is historically the way to win these kind of engagements.
The Ravens, my Ravens are heroes and won the first victory.
So I think there's going to be another skirmish, another encounter coming up. So let's see if they deploy similar tactics, loading some of their best fighters there. And this will have been pre-planned to put their strongest warriors on the right flank.
This is where I may invoke my power as the All-Father, he who breathed life into the first man and woman.
Yeah, there's a very quick afterlife here. They all get up and get to join in again. So thankfully, you're not dead forever.
He who has fallen in battle is indeed worthy. So now I call upon the dead to rise.
There we go.
And just as in my hall at Valhalla,
the afterlife has been postponed.
To fight again.
So we're going to go again.
Well, though, they put up a very good charge.
So
will our Wolves take the victory this time? Well, only time
if you are supporting the Ravens, like Linda in Baltimore, then victory is yours. But it's not over yet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember.
Are your champions the Wolves? The Wolves has taken the first loss. Let us get behind those Wolves. Let us see if they can take the glory and the victory this time.
So let's say there's a better outcome for the Wolves on this. The dead are back to life.
The battlefield is no place for the faint-hearted, and it is often the case that he who advances first
Off we go again.
takes the initiative. The Ravens, confident in their victory, were slow to respond.
So let's see if we've got the same tactics on this right hand flank again.
Will this cost them? I wonder. Listen here. Do not celebrate your victories in battle when the war is not yet done.
Fairly weak section in the middle of the line there. If the Ravens can get in, they can certainly exploit. But again, we've got a lot of loading over on the right flank. I think deliberately, their tactic they decided today is they're going to attack on the right flank. Quite a bit of activity on the left as well, but at the centre, it's more of a kind of push, a battle push of strength. Most of the actual fighting you can see at the minute is going on once again on this right hand flank. And looking like they're trying to make a breakthrough there. The Ravens, you see the spear guys trying to work their way through. The few are starting to fall. As the decisive push now, Ravens are on the move. So now it's the Wolves that are looking decidedly in trouble. They're breaking through the centre.
I see a war buckling.
I see warriors plunging into the gaps, swinging axes, swinging swords, seeking to break open their enemy's shield wall.
Broken loose now on the left flank. So all formation has gone now on the left.
Now confusion begins to reign. This is where the war cries must be heard. Hold the name of your army until you're not killed by your own death. Find your friends on the battlefield, and you may better slay your opponents. This is indeed
Again, the bodies mounting up on the left-hand side. All in action. He's on the right flank.
a moment of confusion, followed by a sudden attack.
I'll say it's all
Many have fallen
over
outside
by the
dead,
shouting, but
lit to the floor.
there's an awful lot of loss of life in this particular engagement.
Once again, I see that it is the Ravens.
The Ravens held the line. The loss of life, this would be seen obviously as a very expensive engagement.
The Ravens seem to be trampling all over the wolves. My great lord, do we end there or do we give the wolves one final answer?
We will give them one more chance to earn honor upon this field, but I will say to all of these warriors, you've each given your all, as I call upon the dead to rise.
So one more engagement, folks, and then I think we will
But now I issue a
have given you good
challenge.
value for money today. My battery will be starting to run low, so
I challenge our warriors to form into the swine array, the boar's snout.
the boar's snout, right. Hello, Dan.
No man of faint heart has a place in that exalted company. Aimed as it is to plunge into the very heart of the enemy's shield wall. It is a dangerous ploy, but it is one that can win victory and win glory.
They're going to try and break through in the centre, aren't
But which side will choose
Basically, you have one guy right
form
at
the
the front
force?
they? Yeah,
with a shield,
yeah.
Will it
and
be
then you
my
have two guys
Ravens
behind him, and then
or will it
basically
be
make a huge
the wolves?
wedge.
Yeah, try to drive through the centre.
And I've seen it done on a big castle gateway, and it was just like a hot knife going through butter. They were just going everywhere.
So I don't know if you hear this gentleman talking to us, but we're talking about sort of different battlefire motions. Up till now, we've been seeing attacks on the flanks, haven't we, and trying to, come round. But now we're going through the centre of the lines.
One
If
of
the
the
boar's
groups
snout
go
is
try and
faint
punch its
hearted,
way through the middle,
it can be
which
a
then
deadly
allows
ploy
people
that can
to
cost
pan
you
out
victory.
behind the lines.
Yeah.
And
But
basically
if
attack
your
them
warriors
from
are
behind.
Getting in behind the lines again is yeah. So I mean, in all these sort of battles of years gone by, while you hold your lines, you find out it's when you get behind that's when your real devastation starts. Yeah.
And you literally only need one person to break through.
Yeah.
And they can use a dagger, and they can literally just stab everybody in the back.
Yeah.
And they'll just get dropped down like dominoes.
And then you're falling over your fallen colleagues as well. It's because the mayhem starts, doesn't it? There.
Once the hole's there, it's usually fatal.
Yeah. Yes, the route.
It's easy to get wrong.
Yes. So we're going to see some different tactics this time. So let's see how that plays out.
The well-trained and schooled Ravens.
You're right there, Tim. You're right, mate.
So I've got a lot of zoom on to catch this is why people's faces come up, loom up very, very large. This picks around a lot of zoom. But hopefully the picture's good for you.
Will it be your wolves?
So tell you what we'll do actually, we'll go around and we'll try and shoot this from a different angle, and we'll see if we can get a different perspective. We'll go side on for this engagement, and we'll see if we can bring you something from.
I can see the wolves forming the boar snout.
So now we've got, obviously, we've come at a completely different angle, and we're now looking at the space in between.
And ship now take plunge into the enemy. One final roar, my friend!
I'll come round.
Forced to kill a man. Many a warrior has fallen from the field from sheer exhaustion.
Two nasty spears there underneath, jabbing those legs. And of course, all those are falling over and hazards for
They challenge the old. Youthful experience.
so being pushed back. They've got corpses behind them. So tripping hazards now coming into play.
And earn themselves a name. The day they pass to their children. It looks like the wolves are being pushed back slowly.
Messy now. Lady Warrior there, certainly doing her best to take out the warriors. That the battle is all but over. The Wolves have won the day.
And the Wolves have taken the final victory. And the final honour and glory on this field. But before I call upon the worthy slain to rise, people of Jorvik, Raise the heavens with your cheers for our Viking warriors of Jorvik.
Brilliant.
And now I call upon the dead to rise to reform their shield wall. But now, the people are your foe. Reform your ranks.
Well, good my lords, good my ladies and friends, thanes and thralls all. We have spent an hour plus in each other's company. We started with a war of words. And then we started with power, with wars and tugs of rope. We had flags.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the sights, the sounds, and you haven't perhaps picked up the smells, but lots of patchouli oil around, of the Vikings. We're out and about tomorrow. You can see what's happening in town tomorrow. I'll walk through the encampment, probably try and chat to one or two Vikings and see what's happening, but hopefully you enjoyed the annual spectacular. We'll be going on for the rest of the day, this event this evening, with kind of pyrotechnics and so forth, after dark, so very kind of spectacular. We're kind of sending off, but I very much enjoyed spending time with you today here in York, and as ever, our thanks to the fabulous people, Jay and colleagues at the Jorvik Viking Centre for enabling us there, as you saw, to get access to the area, so you get unencumbered views, and you know, of course, it makes such a difference, doesn't it, when you're watching, not to be to crane your neck. So hopefully, wherever we've been, you felt that you're right in the heart of the action. And somebody wants to be on telly, go on then, say hello. I'm on Exploring Yorkshire with John. So we're wrapping up for today. Thank you for being with us, and it's been an absolute pleasure. And what fun! You know, as all of these things, you know, you just can't help but reflect on the sheer passion that's done. That this is people's hobbies, obviously, their interests, but they throw themselves into it with such gusto and panache that we salute them and celebrate them, and we kind of forgive them for taking York by force in 866. I think enough time has now kind of passed by for us to accept that it's just part of our rich history rather than an open wound. But as somebody was admiring it earlier, I think what we'll do is we will finish off by just looking at the daffodils up on the mountain. Shoot off the zoom. And oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Oops. How do we get rid of the zoom? Zoom is easier to put on than take off, but anyway, isn't that lovely? Just see the lovely colour of the daffodils, and of course, not too long from now, we'll be here doing the commemoration of the Jewish massacre, on March 16th. So we'll be back here in a month. So thank you everybody from York. Been an absolute hoot as ever. Delighted to spend time in your company, but all good things must come to an end, and this is the end of this tour. So thank you everybody, and goodbye.